Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV. Not just a YouTube channel, your main source for bull breed entertainment. I offer video services such as stud features, kennel features, and full event coverage. I also offer photography services such as puppy shoots, individual dog shoots, and full kennel shoots. You can see examples of each on any and all Bull-NA-ChinaShop social media pages. You can also see an in-depth look into my life and the American Bully lifestyle with my vlog found on the YouTube channel as well. Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV is also the home of the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast, a real, raw, uncut podcast dedicated to the bull breeds and the American Bully lifestyle. You can find all episodes of the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast, stud features, kennel features, event features, and all of the vlogs on youtube.com/Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV. Check it out and hit subscribe today.
I'm taking applications right now. I need more haters. Yo. What the fuck is going on? You amazing motherfuckers. And we are Bull-NA-ChinaShop back again. You want to advertise for somebody? www.advertise my shit. Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com. What the fuck is a week? Stop taking fucking pictures of the pup. We're going to be hosted by yours truly, Ty Lumley.
Yo, you beautiful motherfuckers. Back again, another episode of the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast. I got some special guests with me today. A couple of returning guests and a couple of brand new motherfuckers that have never been on here before. We got AJ right here, Anthony McLin. Am I saying that right? Yeah. We got OG lounge member Joker. We got head of the Midwest Monstas movement in the lounge, Kevin Benford, and we also got Zeb Brooks, aka Spike Z.
Spike Z.
So what are we doing here, Kev? Why are we here? What are we doing?
Did you tell them where we at?
I haven't said shit. We're currently in SoCal
Riverside.
right now, Riverside, up in the hills, living it big, trying to enjoy life a little bit. Basically, out here celebrating, not just life, but the lifestyle that we live. You know what I mean? Trying to document some shit. But you're the organizer behind the whole fucking thing. That's why I asked you, what are we doing here, man?
Well, we got a collaboration going on that I've been working on with my little dude Rob Lee for about a year now. We've been talking and bumping heads, and we decided to do a collaboration, and we got some nice shit going on. So I came on down here. We got a breeding that we took care of. I came down here to check out what we got, check out the product.
Which I actually got a little sneak peek.
Yeah, I haven't even seen it yet. We've been partying so hard, we ain't even made it over to see the pups yet.
I actually got a little bit of a sneak peek on Friday, yesterday morning, and I mean, I'll let you decide when you get to see them, but that shit is,
yeah, I'm gonna.
It looks really good. The potential's there for sure.
Yeah.
And you know, I've done the same thing. All my listeners know I did the same thing. Came to Rob looking for specific things. I know what I came to him for. What exactly did you want to add or want to change about what you have currently going on with the? Because you don't do a lot of outcrosses. You know what I mean? And when you do, you kind of build your own.
Right.
So it's kind of a rare thing.
I'm gonna tell you what happened. Rob contacted me a couple times, and I usually I don't get around to talking to everybody, back to everybody, and so I say what?
Carmen Craig.
What is this doing? So listen, hey, check that phone for me, bro. Check that phone. So yeah, I got with Rob Lee, and I kept hearing about them. They were talking about some homie blood. And I'm like, what in the hell is a homie blood? So I asked a few people. You know, I was seeing it around on the board, and so they explained to me what it, the lock and load and the blah blah blah. And so I said, okay, I know what's behind all that. You know.
Yeah,
so
that thing stuff. I mean that's produced. That's stuff that produced even 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
Right.
I don't know if that's exact numbers. There's probably going to be 100 fucking people commenting, oh, it was 4.4 years,
Right.
I don't know the exact years, but, when Thing was around doing his thing, he was producing his ass off even then.
They made some nice dogs.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, I checked on Rob Lee. I made a couple of calls to some of the OGs. I called Sylvia Gomez and a couple more people. And everybody gave me a thumbs up for Rob. Say he was a straight shooter. Say he was a marketing genius, and say he was a good kid. That was coming up strong with the dogs, and he had that passion, and he was doing his thing. And I heard of that dog, the Bus, before in Bistro. I'd seen him at a couple shows. So yeah, I reached out to Rob. We got to talking back and forth, and it was a lot of stuff he needed from me, some stuff I needed from him, and so we decided to work together and try to make some dogs.
Yeah, and the lines complement each other pretty well. Rob's stuff got super square rears and wide hips and good angulation even to the shoulders and the rears. So I think that's, for me, that was super valuable in my stuff.
That's exactly what I was looking for too.
Right.
I want to correct that back end. Give myself some angulation, square it off. And I gotta see where we're gonna be at. Yeah.
I'm
How did
excited.
you come out? When you used it,
Yeah, when we collaborated, it was Bistro to my bitch Cleopatra, and got Maestro and Loki,
Right.
which turned out pretty well. And then the second time we collaborated, with the Bus, and ran the Bus to Cleopatra, and that stuff's just coming up now, 9 months. So we'll see, but a lot of potential in that shit too. Super compact stuff comes out of the Bus, short backs, really square rears, and that's something I think that a well-built, wide-set rear that's still square, that's super, to me, super valuable. So to know that I'm going to get that shit when I use it, I was all over that shit. We've already been hearing stories about how this shit got to this point. All night we've already been talking all night, but and we've seen pictures of Joker. Joker owned Raina Pink Champagne, which is Pink Champagne is one of your foundation bitches, her sister. We've been hearing about the Remy and Raina breedings and the Strike and Pink Champagne stuff. Like the process to get from there to here to where you're now ready to outcross to something like that to try to, that's like a little fine tuning, Like, how the fuck did you get from there to where you're at now? I guess is what I'm asking. Like,
breeding by breeding, brother. One at a time, one step at a time, baby steps.
Right. I kind of say that to these guys all the time. Like, it's a process.
It's a long process.
It's a long process. How did, because that stuff goes back to Monster G, like we were talking about earlier. How did Monster G, for a lot of the people that don't know, first of all, explain to these people who Monster G is and where he comes from, and how did he impact your shit even still to this day? Does he impact?
Oh yeah. Monster G is a new Trojan. Monster G is a new Trojan dog that Rodney and Mario produced, and GreyLine. That's how you say old school GreyLine. Beautiful dogs, real lot of drive. I don't want to say hot. I'm gonna say a lot of drive. And it's really the dogs. The GreyLine dogs wouldn't be for the beginner. For a dog owner just beginning, because they can get away from you. It had to be a dog man with some experience to handle them. Yeah. So we incorporated that right to our blood, and we find it a lot. You know what I'm saying? We got it. it's cool around families, and the majority of our people that have them are families. And I'm a fireman, so you know we it's a whole lot of firemen that come get them, and it's been a long road, brother. It's been a long road.
Did it seem like that at the beginning? Were you thinking about?
Matter of fact, Pink Champagne was ABDA. I had to have her made UKC. I had to do a video, and she had to do a video around people, a 5-minute video. There's a whole lot of shit they said you had to do, and so I did mine at the firehouse with the firemen and the medics and everything, pulling up and getting out the ambulances and rubbing on it and whatever they need to see. Yeah.
What was the logic behind that? Just because it was coming from the ADBA and they wanted to make sure it wasn't
I don't
gamer,
have a clue. That was their rules. Either you had to make a video and send it in, or you had to go meet one of the judges personally and had them lay hands on the dog, or whatever, and approve it. They had to approve back then. Yeah.
Another dog that seemed, I mean, from where my perspective on the Lounge, Blood, and Midwest Monstas, in specifically, I mean, is Corrupt. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the first time, like you were saying earlier, the first time you seen him was out here, was in Cali, mm-hmm. And you were also saying that a lot of your shit, a lot of the breedings and a lot of the spark that created what you have going now started here. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the first time you seen Corrupt and like?
Oh yeah.
What was going on?
Well, we had the MSN board, where we all.
I'm actually gonna pour us a shot while you're
hit up. All the Bully World was in one, fish tank right there on the Bully World. I mean, what was it? MSN boards.
MSN GreyLine.
Mm-hmm. GreyLine. We had an Edge, Gaff.
Yeah,
there was a few of them.
boards.
So
all right, got some.
we first started seeing them on. He running. That's water. That ain't no shit.
We need a smell test on that, Zeb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Spike Z. We're gonna need a smell test on that, Spike Z.
Yeah, so, shit, what the fuck was I saying?
I don't know. Let's do a toast. Let's before we get deep into this shit or whatever, I appreciate the invite out here to Cali for this whole thing. I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that, you brought people out here to kind of document the process, because it's a rare thing for two big programs like that to be getting together and linking up.
I think this is going to be major.
I think it's going to be part of history.
Yeah, because we're doing it's a few phases to what we're doing.
Right.
So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and possibly 4 and 5. So.
Right. So I mean,
yeah.
First of all, thanks for being on the show, but thanks for the invite out. And the hospitality's been fucking amazing. Above and beyond, man. Cheers. Great to meet you too, Joker. The first time I met him, Zeb. Back again on the podcast, Anthony. Not drinking. On my fucking podcast. We're in California. You're not even gonna have a shot?
Nah.
That's called peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
What I'm doing right now is called peer pressure. I believe the kids today call that bullying somehow.
I guess. You ain't gonna put bully today.
But what we're talking about? First time you seen Corrupt?
Yeah, saw him on the MSN boards with his puppies coming up, and the Bully, the Super Bowl. They were doing their first Super Bowl, and saw them guys walking up with him, and I knew right away. I said, "That's that motherfucking tank. There he goes." I said, "Hey, it's Corrupt." Yeah. So I was like, okay. And actually, remember I came down to breed to him.
Right.
And went through a whole lot of shit didn't end up taking. But I did the first breeding with him. Yeah.
To who?
It was a bitch named Debrat. She was a Dillinger, off of Dillinger daughter. I forget who the mom was. Dillinger, I won't say Dillinger, I was Foxy. But
more New Trojan stuff.
New Trojan, yeah.
Seems like I think Anthony said this earlier. It seems like every pedigree, modern pedigree you look at, if you go back far enough, there's New Trojans in there somewhere.
Oh yeah. They was putting in work, man. Put in a whole lot of work to get us where we at.
Yep. Now, what do you think specifically that blood or that strain or whatever, however you want to refer to it? I think it's definitely a bloodline he definitely had a consistent look, especially by the time he got down to
Oh, yeah.
strike and stuff like that.
Yeah. If you saw one of them dogs, you knew it.
You knew that was New Trojan
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
What do you think, like, separated that from other stuff that was going on at the time? And how long are we talking about? How long ago are we talking about?
That was in 03, 04.
03, 04, yeah, 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
So what separated their stuff, and like what made them stand out to you?
You know what I'm gonna tell you? You could tell they had they came down off of Gotti.
Right.
You know, by the markers and shit, you could tell that in some of the traits, but they were shorter, more compact, and more extreme. You know, wider.
But still had that drive.
Still had the drive. Still had the same drive, yeah. Able to work, going to work. Want to work, going to work. Yeah. Yeah. But just a smaller
Did you
dog.
prefer that in your dogs? To have a little bit of that.
Got to have it, though. I ain't gonna
yeah.
feed it. Yeah. Yeah. Got to, yeah.
Has to be some sort of functional.
Functional and the ability to work and the will to want to work. Yeah.
I think that's something we're losing a lot of that. We're losing a lot of drive out of these dogs, out of American bullies specifically. Now, how long? Because I know you were saying earlier you stepped away for a long time.
Yeah.
How long has that been? I mean, when was that?
It's been a good 7 years.
Why?
At least.
Why step away? I mean,
I stepped away not by choice. I went on a little vacation, so to speak. And when I came back, I see the game had changed so much that I really didn't want to get involved with it. You know what I'm saying? It was just it's not what it was when I left. I mean, we lost them dogs with the drive. I mean, I like the compact bully look, but not to where you're losing it. The dog, can't even move, can't even walk. Dog can't function, basically.
So I mean, the whole lounge seems like that's a theme across the whole, especially the OG guys that have been in it, 10, 12, like you're saying, 15 years, whatever. Function and drive that want to do something. That seems pretty important to you guys.
Right.
And the ability to do something.
Yeah, even if it wants to,
Yeah,
it can't.
yeah. That's the main thing, the ability.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I came back, my dogs were old. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't breed them no more, and I kind of lost that little bit of will to breed because I felt like I had to start all over again. Basically, I do, and I probably will, but at that point, I kind of lost my motivation. Because like I said, my dog, by the time I came home, my dog were 8, 9 years old already. Too old to be bred.
Do you have bullies now? Do you have an American bully now?
I don't.
It's interesting. It's like it's hard to see for a lot of us. I feel like it's hard to see ourselves outside of being.
And I used to be the same way.
But see, like he's saying, he was rolling. Joker was making some badass dogs, and he had his program going. He was putting that shit together. He had a vision. It was step by step, and he was down generations. And then when he went away, you know what I mean? All like he said, it all got
Killed my
over.
motivation.
Yeah.
Right.
So when he came back, he like
Gotta
I
start
had all
over.
my work done. Now I got to start over again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Took the wind out of it.
yeah, it definitely got to be frustrating at the very least.
Right.
Just some of the stories that we've been talking about this weekend. Like we did a video earlier. Your top 5 American bullies. Your favorite American bullies, basically. And 4 out of the 5 were legit old school dogs.
Frozen dogs.
And almost all of them new. 4 out of the 5 new Trojan based dogs. Why? Other than just you could tell it was off of Gotti. Was there like a thought process behind basing your whole program off that? And then even when you saw Corrupt on the MSM boards,
How did people feel about him then, though? Was it a mixed reaction?
Yeah.
Because he was so extreme?
It was a mixed
and
reaction.
what made you lean towards that? What made you lean towards him?
That was just my vision. My idea of would be Corrupt with a paint job and a little cleanup. You know, just look, back then he was considered extreme. Now he would be standard probably.
Right.
Yeah, but back then he was overdone and extreme.
Right.
You know, so I just wanted something just a little cleaner. You know, but I wanted that mass. I wanted that. I mean, he was wide.
Fucking big dome.
That boy, like the head, square ass, brick head. Yeah.
There's that famous picture of him batting up with Bullmaster.
Mm-hmm.
You know, ripped to shreds. They both look. They both, you know, look like beasts on the end of that leash. You could tell that drive is deep into that.
Oh yeah. We couldn't even stack our dogs back in the day. You couldn't get with this 5
Right, that's what I was about to ask. Did that affect
You trying to
how you
hold them,
guys
they got to look. They move, they won't, you know what I mean? You can't give them a stand there.
Yeah, don't have a
And all you
conversation.
hear,
Don't get distracted.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? All of them just lying. Oh,
And see, that was another thing that blew my mind when I came back home. You couldn't take a fucking picture with 10 bullies all sitting down next to each other. I mean, granted, you could if they were trained that way, but the majority of the people back then, you couldn't do that shit. None of my dogs would sit. If I had 2 males, they wouldn't sit side by side. That shit just didn't happen.
And you guys preferred that?
I mean, not to a point.
We bred it down to where it's tolerable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, they still had that drive.
But even to this day, I got males that ain't gonna tolerate other males.
Right.
Period.
Yeah. My biggest issues with dominant females. You know?
Yeah, either or, females or males.
Yeah.
I mean, you had some males going at females, or females going at males, but they just wouldn't. You know what I mean? I've seen pictures where you got like 10 dogs running around together in the house, all happy.
Right.
Back then, that shit just didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, I have about 20 I can let out together.
And I mean, that shit's cool as hell, but I mean, back then I couldn't do it. Kind of another reason why I got out of it.
I couldn't do that.
Getting too damn old to fucking try to keep 2 dogs separate.
Right.
Yeah, especially these big ass dogs you guys had back then. We're talking 90, 100 pounds consistently. You know, I pull be pulling you around.
He said too big.
He said too big.
Yeah, he said
What do you think about all this? What do you think about this whole experience, being able to soak up this shit from these guys?
It's just a life experience, to be honest with you. I'm just happy to be here, really. When the big kid invited me, I was like, of course, you know what I'm saying? I'm coming out, you know what I'm saying? I'll do whatever to come out, you know what I'm saying? If I got, you know what I'm saying, put pitch in on anything, we going, regardless, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, I mean, it's shit. It's being able to almost steal experience from this guy just by sitting around and listening to him.
Exactly. Just from being here, I done learned something, you know what I'm saying?
How has that? Because it seems like you and Kev have a pretty tight relationship as far as like seems like to be a mentor to a certain extent. You know, how has that affected how you look at things and how you approach it?
Well, I'm gonna approach everything just like he did, to be honest with you.
How you feel about the new stuff out here?
It was like the new stuff, like the new like.
That ain't new to him.
It's
That's the
not-
stuff he came in with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, what do you mean, like
Yeah.
like the DAC stuff or like the exotic stuff?
Yeah, with the exotic dags.
I mean, like, I got some DAC stuff. I like
Zeb
DACs,
always
you know
just
what I'm saying?
jabbing motherfuckers with that exotic question.
I like.
He just constantly trying to throw that shit on you.
You got me here.
No, it's interesting to document it to see how it's gonna come out later, how long it's gonna last.
Did you ever think it would go that far?
I didn't. But I kind of related to the same thing when we started creating bullies. All the pit bull people were like, those ain't pit bulls. We were
Right.
calling them pit bulls.
Right.
So we were kind of like outcasted from them. So now I think they took it maybe a step or 2 further, or way out. And that's how we kind of look at that, the exotic bullies now. That's not something that we'll probably end up doing, but that's how I think they kind of looked at us. back
Yeah,
in
that's
the day.
interesting. That's a interesting perspective on it, you know, because I'm sure the American Pit Bull Terrier people at the time felt.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically what they
Even
said.
The
that they told us
ADBA
to
people
do.
now still feel that way about the UKC American Pit Bull
Right.
Terriers. I mean, there's
And you
division
know,
even
I
within
came
that breed.
from the game world. And so,
Right.
yeah, I felt the same way when I came. Like, what the hell is this? Like, what kind of shit is this?
It's nuts.
That ain't no pit bull.
No, it's definitely not a pit bull, and I think that's my my biggest goal is to try to get people to understand that American Bully and exotic, whatever, you know, it's different. It's a separate thing.
Yeah, they're
You
totally
can't,
separate.
you know, you can't look at the bully community as a whole and include exotics and then, you know, have the perception that bullies are fucked up because these are bullies also. No, those aren't bullies. That shit's different.
What will get us confused is the pedigrees. You see the pedigrees all the same. It's an American Bully pedigree.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right, but a piece of paper doesn't determine what breed of dog it is.
I mean, hey.
You know what I mean? Breed type, that's why breed type is so important, because that is what determines what breed the fucking dog is. That's why I'm specific about certain traits that I don't want in my program or I don't want to see in the ring, you know? There's only a few things that separate exotics from American pocket American bullies and standard American bullies and oldies. There's only a few little details really that separate that shit. So breed type has to be a fucking top priority in that stuff. The pedigree, most of it's bullshit anyway. I feel like, yeah, we all know that there's stuff in there that is not on the paper.
Oh, definitely.
How do you combat? You know, how do you breed that accurately or consistently with that in there, knowing that, you know?
You don't.
I mean, yeah, basically at that point, you're basically breeding phenotype to phenotype instead of there's no genotype.
Right, trait to trait.
Right.
Yeah, and we were
You're
talking.
crossing your fingers and hoping you get what you want.
Well, we were talking about, you know, how consistent the lounge bud is, and do you think that how tight you've got it over the years, the line breeding and specific inbreedings that you've done, do you think that helps with the consistency?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
How did you keep it from losing the size though?
You know what? I did lose some of the size. I had bigger dogs, you know, but I didn't lose a whole lot of size, but I can see I lost a little size. But, you know, you look for the outcrosser that can open it back up, and then you can blow it right back up, wrap it right back. It's not hard. You just got to watch it. You got to know your blood and know, okay, too tight right here. On this next round, I got to open up, you know, and strategically get that out that you need.
When you say too tight, what do you mean?
Too tight meaning I'm going too tight on my blood. You know, it's getting too close. It's getting too close, and I'm locking in stuff I don't want.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, did you find the problems when that?
Yeah, you can. You know, just because, like, you know, when you bring to lock traits, positive traits in, you know, it's certain shit that you're not gonna want. You're gonna lock those in too. You know, the good goes with the bad. So it's like you're trying to grab the good. You're gonna bring a little bad with you. Get to a certain stop. I got to move back this way. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to lock that bad shit and bring it all the way to the front.
Now then with the dog.
Skin issues.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, did y'all have a lot of breathing issues back then?
Not breathing.
No.
No, not breathing.
There was really no
Yeah.
breathing issues, no skin issues.
Yeah. I had a few skin issues, but I had to breathe. That was way back. And I had to breathe away from it. Yeah.
I mean, dogs were born with. Back then, when you had a dog, they all had full tails. A king tail, I mean, you wouldn't even show that. That's what I was telling Big Kev the other day. You got a lot of these dogs that don't even got tails and nobody even cares.
They don't. The
They
dog
don't
be on the
care.
video with no
Dog
tail.
ain't got no tail.
And we looked at the
motherfucker
exotic
got no tail.
standard. We were talking about that. We looked at the exotic standard, and that stuff's all acceptable.
See, I never looked at that standard. No tail is acceptable.
A docked tail is actually, they actually prefer if you dock the tail if it's got a kink.
But these ain't docked.
No, and
These
the
are fucking
the
pig
bent and
tails.
stuff
These
like
ain't-
that, they're acceptable. That's acceptable stuff in their standard.
Yeah, see, back then you had a king tail, you wouldn't even show that. You put that shit to the side or you curl it or something.
When did it start? When did that start being
Accepted?
accepted and normal?
I've probably seen it in the past few years.
Well, I mean, Thing had a king tail, right? That was a long time ago. And he produced his ass off, and a lot of people use
accepted
it.
though. They didn't put them.
He didn't really bring them out.
No, they didn't make them no show dog and all like that. That was a tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a slippery slope. Once you say, it's a tool, it's only one more step away from, that's not that big of a deal. And that's only one more step away
I
from.
think that's kind of how we got here.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not that big of a deal. Okay, so you get to the point where you accept that.
Yeah, I mean,
And
he's
then
got,
the
a
next
king,
ball-
he's got a king tail, but look at the rest of them.
Yeah, but see, when you bred to him to use him as a tool, you'll be like,
Yeah.
maybe I only get one kink, or maybe I'll breed away so far. This shit can correct it. You breed not to get that kink. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And if you get 2 or 3, then that litter was fucked up, and you trash that shit. You didn't just keep saying, okay, well, fuck it. A kink is acceptable. You were breeding not to have that kink off of him. These motherfuckers
Right.
breeding don't
You
care.
would breed to correct that issue.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're gonna get the baddest puppy, and then his puppy got a kink, and you're like, well, fuck, I'll keep him and use him as a breeder, as a stud.
Yeah, and then we get down to dogs like Gargoyle and Peanut and stuff like that, who are, short stuff, and already had that buggy eye look and the short tails that were bent up. You know what I mean? To me, I feel like people just overlook that and say, well, it's a breeding tool, so let's blow it out. And then 3 generations down the line, you get a Peanut, and then 3 generations down the line, you get another, U-turn, and a lot of these.
U-turn.
Both.
Yeah, from West Coast bullies.
What they call U-turn?
U-turn. I don't know why they named him U-turn, motherfucker.
Did his tail get no U-turn?
I don't know.
Nah, I don't even know if it was twisted up like that. I just know it had the kinks, or it was short. And
He was kind of on a freaky looking.
yeah,
Yeah.
these are dogs that, to me, look like the exotics now,
Yeah,
way before
exactly.
the exotics
I would
came.
say that.
Like, there was a dog in the Midwest named Pacquiao that was, I think I can't remember exactly what he was, but this motherfucker looked like an exotic way before they were actually exotics. Bismarck's got the crazy look way before any of that shit was sought after, and then when he come on, people went crazy over it. I think it's the attraction of the freak, Back in the day, they used to have, they still do freak shows all the time, bearded women and mermaids and shit, you know what I'm saying? Circuses, people pay for that shit all the time. To me, that's what I equate that shit to, is like, that's a fucking circus, man. People are just coming to see the freak show.
Yeah.
No way can that be good for the fucking breeds and moving forward. No way can it be.
Well, like I said earlier, that shit's got to come to a head eventually. People are getting tired of spending top dollar for a dog that's only going to live for 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years
And that's
and not be able to walk 10 steps in a row.
what I'm saying. That's being nice.
I want to know, how do they not see the quality?
I mean,
I see.
I think a lot of it has to
I'm
do
not,
with the ass kissing.
we're not having this conversation to sit here and fucking bash anybody. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. I'm just saying I don't agree
Oh,
with
that's
that
what I'm
shit.
saying. Like earlier, I told him, 25% are nice.
Yeah, I like.
But that's my personal opinion.
I like a lot of them, to be
But
honest.
then again, I'm old shit.
Is that possible? Right.
Yeah.
I think they're in the fridge. So anyway, we're in Cali.
I'll take another one.
We're in Cali. We're enjoying the life. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird being on a dog trip, not having any dogs.
Right.
Just coming out with a fucking suitcase full of equipment.
And it feels great.
Yeah, it feels
Right?
feels unbelievable. You need that deep.
What's your thoughts on the Brahmas?
I have none. I've not even looked into it at all.
Yeah.
I know Bo,
That
my boy Bo was
follow
doing it.
is right
And,
there.
Yeah, I got one.
yeah, I haven't looked into it.
Yeah, I always wondered that, did people think about that, doing that back then? Not really.
I know, yeah.
Now, the concept behind the Brahmas is, to do pretty much the same thing that the original concept behind the exotics was, but just be honest about it. Tell people where the mixes are and where the crosses are and stuff.
See, that's my issue. The people ain't telling me what it is. I mean, to each his own. If you want to breed an exotic, that's fine. I mean, like I said, there's some nice ass exotics out there. But at least tell the person what it is. I mean, it might be you might have fucking put your work in and created an exotic tiny ass dog off of an American Bully, but that's kind of rare. You know what I mean? I mean that's
Yeah, I see more American Bully looking stuff coming out of exotics, you know, where they fail to produce the look that they're looking for and it slips back to
right.
an American Bully. You know, I see that quite a bit, but you rarely see two quality American Bullies put together and produce an exotic. I'm sure it does happen, no doubt about that. But I just feel like there's so much money behind that. It's hard for them not to be successful. There's so much money being put behind the promotion and the advertisement and the growth of that movement. For better or worse, it's just is what it is. You know, it's hard for people not to
Take notice.
be drawn onto that train. It's just too much money involved.
Just thinking back then, did you see a lot of people, like how you were saying earlier, everybody going to that one stud, but back then people were going to different dogs then, that you can really see the difference between then and now?
Yeah, I think back then it was more like you want to get something exclusive. You were trying to do something that hadn't been done before and trying to make your own lane. You know what I mean? Nowadays it's the same shit over and over again.
Exclusive, that's a big deal to you too. Keeping your shit where not everyone has access to it.
Right.
That's different. That's a different mentality than most people.
And I'm gonna tell you, I've never done a repeat breeding. If I do a breeding and it makes one puppy, then that'll be the solo puppy that's off of that breeding. That was that breeding. Now if I do a breeding, I don't have nothing that survives, then I'll repeat it, you know. But I've never done a repeat breeding.
Why is that?
Same thing, keeps it exclusive. If you say Crump times Porsche, you got something off that Crump times Porsche, you ain't gonna have to say, yeah, I got off the first one. I got off the second one, you know, it's Crump times Porsche. Yeah. It's that breeding. Whatever the bully guys want to give me on that breeding, whether it's one puppy or 12 puppies, that's what it's gonna be. And then I'm gonna move to the next one.
Would you rather have 1 or 12?
Somewhere in the middle.
Neither, yeah.
12's a bitch.
I like maybe 5 puppies.
Ideal size 5 puppies.
5 or 6 pups is ideal.
I think you give me 6, give me 4 bitches and 2 males every time. That's why I'm happy.
I just had a litter with 8, and good lord. Yeah, they're 3 months old now, and I feel all 3 of them months. They whoop my head out, boy.
Shit, I said litter at 11.
Oh.
Now, do you have litters like over the years? Do you have like breedings and productions over the years that you're like favorite shit?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, you put together some.
What's your favorite breeding pair?
Yeah. What is the favorite matchup?
In the bully world? Or
Your shit,
Your
man.
shit, yeah,
Oh.
yours.
Ooh. Breeding pair. Ooh, I'm gonna say it was Cane times Faith. Yeah, Cane times Faith, that made pimp juice, apple juice, gin and juice, peanut juice, that whole juice letter. Yeah.
Okay, juices.
Yeah.
That shit, and it's consistent as a motherfucker. All that shit looks alike.
Yeah.
I remember when I first got into the game, my boy Louis Garcia, he showed me a picture of them dogs, and I'm like, show me who owned them dogs. I need that dog right there. He's like, you're gonna have to spend some money. I'm like, well, we're gonna wait. We're gonna come back to that. You know what I'm saying? And sure enough, we had to come back to that because I just needed one of them. I ain't gonna lie. That was the best dog.
I mean,
like, I love them.
the first show I went to in the Midwest, I seen Slug. And I was like, God damn, that's a monster. Yeah, I seen the same day, I seen Slug, Yayo, Pink Tiger, a whole bunch of just freaks at the time, like shit you didn't see. You know, you didn't see dogs like Slug walking around. You didn't see dogs like Pink Tiger walking around. To this day, Pink Tiger is one of the best dogs I ever seen. Just never got no love. He was with the wrong people, doing the wrong shit, not getting pushed the right way. Even though they put him on the first cover of Keeping It Bully magazine. If you want to know who Pink Tiger is, look up Keeping It Bully magazine volume 1. The dog on the brindle, reverse brindle dog on the cover, that's Pink Tiger. That's also Midwest Monstas shit.
And look, you just mentioned Slug, right? Now, remember we talked earlier about Joker sent me the bitch he made off of Remy times Rainer. He sent me a bitch named Blue Sin. And then I took Blue Sin to Bullet, and I made Blue Sin to Bullet made Sierra, right? And Slug and all that.
Slug was out of that letter.
Slug was a little mate, sister to brother to Sierra, yeah.
Slug is directly off of Bullet. God damn. I didn't realize
Bullet
that.
times Sin. Yeah. The Remy Rainer. Remy Rainer to Bullet, yeah. And then it went back to Bullet.
That's a bully motherfucker to come out of that, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, Bullet's a bully dog too, you know, but Slug was just, that was a combination that clicked, as they say.
Yeah, Sierra was nice too.
Yeah.
Real nice.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite matchup, like a lounge matchup? I mean, not just Kev shit, anybody shit in the lounge. Because there's a lot of kennels, a lot of people not represented here. You know, a lot of even Cali people that we don't have.
Shit off the top. I mean, there's so many I can't even tell you right now. I can't even think.
Think, boy, think.
Think. Put me on the spot. Shit.
So, I guess I didn't realize that Remy was behind your stuff too.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, Remy is, I told you about that. Blue Sky, Lauren's bitch.
Right.
Is little mates with Remy. And Lauren took that bitch Sky to King Saber. And that's what made Corrupt. Yeah, so Remy is Corrupt's uncle. And then, like you said, he used them again with Rainer. Remy Rainer.
But I feel like for guys from my, I don't know, I want to say my generation, but from the time around when I started coming in and coming up, to me, I always associate Remy with classic looking shit. You know, with kind of a narrower head, then you don't really get the wide cheeky head or the stop off him.
But see, have you ever seen Remy in person?
No.
Remy, when I seen him, that's what drew me to him. He had a big, blocky, cheeky head. I don't know if it's maybe the pictures or what, but he had that.
The pictures don't really show how he looked in person.
Right, no, and I'm not talking about Remy specifically. I'm talking about the stuff that, from what I've seen, you know, coming in, the majority of stuff I've seen coming off him was, but again, like I said, I didn't know that was behind, especially a dog like Slug. Right. You know, I wouldn't think that ever. Just how I view Remy, you know what I mean? How a lot of the guys that I came in with, we were on the GreyLine, GreyLine stuff, McLin stuff coming in, especially the Kingpin stuff. You were telling us earlier about Goliath, about seeing Goliath. That's like the base of a lot of the modern day shit right there, Goliath. You know, the whole exotic movement's got Goliath behind the shit, behind G2. It's just crazy how these old school dogs, you know, it's how much different it is from them. Like how especially if you go 3 generations in front of Miyagi and then you look 3 generations behind him. It's night and day. Night and day. And right around me, I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's just how the fuck did it go? How the fuck did it go from Goliath to Bolo?
You know, we was talking about that, right? It was like with the not Bolo. God, man, I'm drawing a blank right now.
Drawing a blank. This is complete dead air right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're just completely. The little blue.
yeah,
The little,
that went to Mexico.
oh, bullseye.
Bullseye.
Yeah.
Bullseye. You think that was off the Prince Lane blood?
Yeah, I don't know, brother. You talking about off the Prince Bay?
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows what? Who the thing is, who knows? And that's a prime example that I would never expect a dog like Slug to come off of some Remy stuff. But so who's to say what's actually coming off? You know, what's behind that shit? Because we all know there's bulldogs behind that that's in there somewhere. That shit's gonna come out. You're gonna have throwbacks. You know, you're gonna have the fourth generation. You're gonna see throwbacks to one side or the other, terriers or bulldogs. I just think that a lot of people don't have the appreciation for that process. These old school dogs, you know, the process that you guys had to go through.
What was your philosophy in as far as putting your yard together? In other words, I know you hear it a lot. You know, you start with the bitches and work from there. That was your philosophy also as well.
What was the thought process behind that? Was your
Well, I was like, I give me a good bitch, then I take it to whichever male I think can add, you know, what I'm trying to get, where I'm trying to go, and then I'll make some shit, and then we'll keep doing the same shit.
Would you always keep a female off the litter?
I always keep a male and a female.
Or you kept both?
Yeah. I never got rid of first pigs.
Never?
No, every breeding I did was for me. Yeah. And then if I had anything else, then I might share. But I did the breed for me. A lot of them guys be talking about a buyout, a first pick buyout. What the fuck? You did a breeding and you don't learn. Every breeding I did was to advance the yard forward.
Yeah, I never really understood the whole thought behind that. Like, if I'm doing a breeding, it's because I think this is going to move my program forward. Those two picks are more important than any of the rest of
It's
this
another
shit.
building block in your program.
But that was an interesting answer you gave earlier when you were talking about the repeat breeders. So they figure, okay, I sell the first pick, I repeat it.
Nah. I was none of that shit, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why you said you never.
He said, nah.
That's why you said you never did any repeat breeders, yeah.
Crazy shit. You said you recently went to what was it, the coming together day out there in North Carolina?
What was the name of it?
What was the name of it? I don't know, maybe it wasn't that show. You recently went to I think an IBR show, you said.
Yes.
How was that? What was that like?
A lot of people, I'll say that.
It was packed, huh?
It was packed. It was packed. They seemed to bring a crowd, to be honest with you, man. And I mean, it's all on what you like. If you like
Circus packed every weekend, bro.
little freaky dogs, I mean, if that's your thing, I ain't got no problem with it. That's what you like. So, you know, it's a small percentage that I like. I'm like, hey, you look freaky. It's kind of tight, but you know, I like to bully myself, to be honest with you. I gotta have something on the beach, man. So that's just me. To each his own. That's what I can say.
What do you think about this whole?
But they definitely got to separate the two. Like you were saying, how it's like a confusion with the pedigrees and stuff. So you gonna have it in the gene pool also. And you got to worry about certain traits and that crossing, mixing in with the bullies, and I don't know, man. I think they just need a whole separate lane for themselves.
Yeah, and I think that'll be, you know, it'd be better for us too, because a lot of the new people coming in go to an event like that, get drawn in by the big neon lights or whatever, and then
Money.
see all that money being spent, and then get drawn into that where they don't necessarily prefer that kind of dog, but they see the circus around that shit and they want to be a part of that, you know? I feel like that happens a lot. What the, you know?
But just being honest about it, you only gonna have the small percentage that's really got the market to certain camps only really got the market to really push that market overseas. Like what you were talking about, you wanted to get overseas with your stuff. So once you get that pipeline overseas, you don't want to give it up to nobody else. you try to keep it all exclusive to what you and your camp doing. So that's where everybody got their own little areas that they go as far as putting their puppies overseas. You got some people who got a Europe market, some people got an Asian market. So
Did you get to do any interviews while you were down there?
Not per se, no. I would say no.
Wow.
No, because
Was it just too big? I mean, was it just too packed in there? Or what was going on?
one, George don't really do interviews, to be honest. George, he really don't do interviews.
Right, that's who you were trying to get?
Yeah, I was trying to get him.
What's your favorite interview?
Me and my man Jeff from DC. I told you, man, that's what started the whole Bully Tokens and Piss. Just me and my boy, he on the stoop, just talking dogs from a owner's point of view. Not no breeder or puppy trying to sell pups. Just him talking about his boy, loving his dog, and being funny as hell, like he always is, man. So I will always say that's my favorite interview. This is me and my man just chilling. That's how we were doing.
It's crazy how that conversation on that stoop sparked a 4-year kind of obsession now. I mean, that's what you do every week. You see something coming out, you're somewhere else. And
Yeah, because before that, really, like, getting into, like, me interviewing people, I would always go to shows, film shows, come up, talk to people, hey, man, what's your boy, what's the bloodline behind him, so people would get to know more about what's behind the dog, and that whole thing with me interviewing people didn't really spark up to, like I said, and we was drinking, turned the camera on, we just sit there and talking, never knew, he said, man, you should put that out, see what it do. Had no idea it was gonna blow up like that. They like his raw and honesty of how he was speaking. It's like, oh yeah, from my point of view, yeah. For somebody who had a bad experience buying a dog, I told him don't do it. He got all big-eyed at the show, bought a dog. Now we got the paperwork, none of that, but hey, learning experience. First time going to a show.
He bought a dog from a show.
Yeah. That's when everybody was bringing like pups out to the show, like especially at the Maryland Expo.
oh yeah, the peddlers, man.
Yeah, so
The fucking peddlers. They roll big crate, 2-3 litters in one fucking crate, 15 puppies into a corner.
yeah, are
Yeah,
they
all
even
the
allowed
time,
to do
bro.
that now? Are they even allowed?
I don't think a lot of show hosts let
Yeah.
people do that. It's a bad look, it's like a motherfucker standing in a Walmart parking lot with a
Yeah, but at that time,
blue
yeah,
nose
that's
gator
how-
mouth sign,
That's how you get them. They're not by the big lights and
Yeah.
You know what I'm
money.
saying?
They get excited. And,
I'm in
you
front of the
sign
Home
that
Depot,
money, so
I
you
got a
buy
truck
right then and
full of
there, you
blue
go buy
nose.
shit later.
Hit me up on La Sierra Avenue at the Walgreens. I got blue nose, $350. I mean, that's the image that I get in my head when I see that shit. When people rolling big crates of fucking, the puppies have already shit 30 times in them on the way there, and they still ain't cleaned the shit out. Big, crates full of puppies in to put signs up, puppies for sale in the middle of a show. That shit used to happen all the time.
Yeah, it did.
What's your least favorite interview?
You said the one we just did right now?
Honestly, I can't even think of like.
Such a pussy.
Honestly, I can't think.
You just
of
don't want to
one.
hurt anybody's feelings right now.
I don't think I really had one like that.
I personally never watched one of your interviews where I was like, man, that was awkward as fuck. Like that could have been shut off 25 minutes ago. Never,
Yeah,
not really
I
one time.
I didn't run into like anybody who was like an ass. Either they would just like straight up tell you up front, like, "No, I ain't doing it." I understand that. But the ones that said yes, I never had like, "Oh, dang, he was an asshole." But I never had that type of thing.
Not even when you pulled me drunk out of the fucking crowd. And it was like 8:30 in the morning at a show.
Oh my God!
For no reason. We drank till like 5:30, and this was like 8:30 in the morning. I only slept 45 minutes or some crazy thing before we went over there. And 45 minutes later, I'm like, what the
That's
fuck?
because I try to catch everybody early because you know like, you catch them later, you might have had one or two don't want to talk at that point. You try to catch them before they really start, doing what they do.
Who's the biggest name that you, in your opinion, that you've had on?
Bully World.
Well, don't matter. It could be out for sure. It could be outside the bully world because of the other shit you do on the real talk with Zeb,
Yeah. See,
I'm sure some of those names are probably more, more recognizable than bully world people.
I tell you what's my favorite. The one I did with my mother, man. I actually had the opportunity to interview my mother to get her perspective of growing up in the South back then. That was my favorite interview right there. Because you never get that type of history on camera. Like I wish I would have was able to talk to like elders in my family, get their stories, like who I'm named after, my great grandfather who was bought the land that the slave masters had at that point in time, and all my aunts and uncles live on this one street because of the land. He bought all the land on that one street.
Holy shit. That's crazy. So, did you know that before you started the interview, or is that something that you actually learned during the...
I learned that when they started putting what they call family history calendars together every year. And they would put the stories in, what such and such did, and like I said, like who I'm named after, my great grandfather was able to buy all that land that during that time was pretty much impossible. So that was cool to me.
Yeah, pioneer shit.
See, he was named after the governor of North Carolina at the time, so yeah, it's kind of crazy.
That's dope to be able to interview your mom, though.
Yeah.
Have it not just a, hey mom, let's have a talk. It was something meaningful, something she grew up and went through.
Yeah, just to get get their experience, or like an aunt who's 98, never thought in her lifetime she'll see a black president when Barack Obama got elected the first time. 98 years old going to go vote. That's crazy.
Go cast her ballot.
Yeah. So stuff like that. So I would definitely say the interview with my mother.
Are you going to be doing interviews at Nationals this year?
I did last year with Bashad. Oh my God, it's like one of the videos that went super viral off the simple fact I said 1 million for Mr. Beans. People was going nuts. That puppy peddling, da 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 da. All they care about is the money, da da da. I was like, damn. Yeah, that's probably one of the most, commented video. I've seen more comments on that video than any other video I ever had.
Makes people mad.
Mad as hell that because he was like, hey, I'm in it for the money. I'm gonna tell you that now. People couldn't stand it.
You were saying earlier the lounge is going to have a pretty big presence this year at Nationals.
Yeah, we'll be there. It's right in our backyard, so we gotta come on out and play. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are deep right there in the Chicagoland area. Would you have any predictions about how it's going to go? You think it's going to be big? You think it's going to be all right?
I think it's gonna be a nice turnout. Cause you already know you from the area. It's a lot of dogs.
A lot of dogs.
A lot of dogs. Yeah.
And I think Chicago is kind of a central location.
Mm-hmm.
If you're coming from either one of the coasts, it's still going to be a long drive or a long flight. Either way you're coming, but it's fairly central. I hope it's big. I hope there's a lot of fucking dogs there.
That's one of my biggest things doing the show. That's what I get excited the most. For me, it's about the dogs. There's not a lot of dogs at the show. I'm about halfway through the day. I'm ready to go home, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because I like to look at dogs all day.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
What's there to go to when you're looking at the dogs?
Yeah, so that's why I really pick and choose what shows I go to now, to be honest.
Any predictions? Any predictions for nationals? You got any predictions for who's going to win or what's going to happen?
I think a bully will win this year.
Yeah, I'm going for Bowser. I like him. I think he's going to win.
You think Bowser's going to win nationals?
Yeah, Bowser. Which Bowser?
That'll be too predictable if I said the bear. So I'm gonna go with a shocker. I'll go with Mufasa.
You think Mufasa's going to come up there and win
That
that?
ain't a shocker, though.
But everybody think the bear though. The way he been rolling this year.
So you think that Mufasa's going to come out of SoCal, come up there to Chicago and take nationals? Crazier shit has happened. There ain't no doubt about that.
Midwest dog take the nationals.
You think of Midwest?
Midwest dogs take the nationals. Watch.
That's a fucking bold. I mean, that's a pretty bold prediction.
Who you got?
Bowser, Rocco, Axel. He might win 2 in a row.
Is he putting him in?
I have no idea. I don't know anything. I haven't talked to anybody. I haven't judged all year. I'm going in the nationals as fresh as they possibly could be. I haven't seen, I'm judging all the other breeds besides bullies. I haven't seen any dogs in the country, you know what I mean? Like, the dogs that are going to be shown under me, I have a fucking clean canvas as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody. Even Jamie Sweet stuff, even though I talk to Jamie once a week, twice a week, if she had stuff in there, I wouldn't even know it was in there. If you had shit in there, I wouldn't even know it was in there because I haven't judged all year in the U.S. So I'm coming in with a completely open mind. I have no idea I'm just trying to find the best dog. Whoever owns it or whoever handles it, I never care about it. I never give a fuck about that, Just trying to find the best dog. So I hope a lot of people show up, man. I want to have a lot of dogs to go through.
What you think about people like stacking their dogs like and leaning them a certain way and like trying to like basically finesse the judge into looking like it's a perfect looking dog?
You can tell that though, Ken.
Man, I was a handler. See,
Yeah.
I went through all that myself. I've done all those tricks myself. I see that shit. You don't really. The stacking of the dog is you evaluate certain things. You want a dog to stand still so you can evaluate the fucking thing, but you really get to know what a dog's, how he's built, and what's really going on when he starts moving. When he's moving around, when he's going up, when he's coming back, when he's going, moving around the circle. That's when you really see what's good, what's bad. So I don't give a shit what they, To me, sometimes the best dog maybe is not the best handled dog. I want the best dog. I want the best example of the breed to win. Because he's not trained to a T, if he's better than the rest of the dogs in the ring, he still has a chance. Now, if the motherfucker's doing alligator rolls in the middle of the ring or something, that's probably not going to be good. You probably have to take some time and get that straightened out before you win. But you know what I mean? Like, if the dog's feet aren't placed exactly right every fucking time when you're stacking them, I'm gonna see what's going on when he starts moving anyway. But yeah, I just want as many dogs there as possible. I want to have a lot of shit to go through, you know. I want to see the best of all the breeds. Now you said you were
Who do you think gonna win nationals this year?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
You like what the fuck is going in nationals? He said, what the hell is out here?
Man, got me.
He said, Remy.
Remy. You think the Monsters gonna take it?
the revamped Remy line, one of those revamped joints.
Who you think gonna win?
I don't know, bro. It depends on which dog has that good day. You know what I mean?
I think there's a lot of dogs as far as American Bullies. There's a lot of dogs I think that have the potential to do it. You know, the top 5, top 6. Any one of those dogs come out of there, and I feel like at least contend for it. And then every year there's dogs that, you know, unknown shit that we don't ever see or don't ever see coming, and they come out of nowhere and make a huge impact. Nobody, I mean, I don't think anybody saw Axel win it last year. You know, that was like
Man,
out of the blue.
Me and this random guy, it was like me and a crowd that was around him last year at Nationals, looking over him. We all, it was like 4 people. We kind of figured he was gonna win. Like, it was like a couple people like, you think he gonna win? I'm like, this dog right here. That's why I'm looking at him, because he had like, he was just like blind through the ring that day. Like, he just attracted me. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think he probably, if he come like he did last year, he gonna win again. You know what I'm saying?
This motherfucker thinks it's gonna be a repeat, first time ever.
Yeah, if he come like he did last year, it's gonna be a repeat. Because he was blind through. You know what I'm saying? Look like a pony. I'm like, oh.
Get up and show us how you do it. Come on, man. Show us how you do it.
Nah.
One time.
I would pay money to see you reenact the little, especially the little front hand flip that you were just doing.
How much you got? How much money we talking? Give me one of them Maestro stud feeds and we can talk.
Oof. See, I'm not
You know,
not going all in like that. I'm not betting the whole house on it.
how y'all pick a puppy? What's the process in picking a puppy?
It's random. I mean,
I was just thinking about that, man. When
Where's
you
your
just
brain
saying that,
at?
man. I'll be all over the place, man. Because I always wondered that.
I could actually be kind of interested to hear how Kevin responds to that too, because I'm sure everybody's process is a little different.
He take forever.
Well, with me, what I do is I done seen too many pups. Whereas, remember we talked about that earlier. If you catch them before they get 7, 8 weeks old, and you see what they're gonna be, it's gonna go off into that lanky stage, and then it probably is gonna come back to that. So you gotta see that shit before it turns, right? But I done seen too many dogs where you're not even looking at that motherfucker to be nothing, and then you turn around 8, 10 months, 2 years from now, like God damn, you know what I'm saying? So what I do, I hold on to shit. I hold on to a whole litter and just watch that shit. And then slowly, you know what I'm saying, you start seeing certain things where you be like, yeah, that motherfucker so far gone, he can't turn around. You know what I'm saying? He gone, you know. And then you start knowing who you keeping and what's going where. Yeah.
That's the same with you, Ty.
Lately, I've been keeping everything.
Just hold it.
I got so much shit hidden in my house right now. I got so much shit people haven't seen. I just want to, like I'm building my fucking program right now. I'm not really,
Yeah,
you know, the demand for my shit's, I couldn't keep up with it if I wanted to right now, which is a good thing. But at the same time,
Have you had one where you like, God damn, I can't believe I sold that dog? You ever had one of them moments?
I mean, I joke with Kyle and LaShawn all the time about Loki. Like, I wish I wouldn't even have gave up half of that motherfucker. You know, because he's bad.
Yeah,
but
I see him.
You know,
Yeah,
they're
I see him down.
yeah, they're amazing, and he's where he's supposed to be. So it's, you know, I
They
have
love that dog.
no regrets about that. But no, I don't really have, because I try to keep shit long enough to figure out like, all right, this is going to be the one I want. If it's not the one I want, you know, at the time I move him out, and if he ends up turning into something that I thought it wasn't gonna be. I mean, you can't kick yourself in the, you can't beat yourself up about making a decision based on how he looked at the time. Now, if you're doing it 4.5, 5 months, I mean, that's the worst time in any dog's life. You gotta wait till 6, 7, 8 months, 10 months, a year before you really make that decision, probably. But I mean, say even adults, when you move them out, sometimes it's really hard to do, and you think, fuck, if I could have got one more litter off, maybe that would have been the perfect one, you know. But no, I don't really have a whole lot of regrets about stuff I've sold.
Yeah, how do you feel about repeat breeds?
I didn't do that shit either. I mean, if I had one, like a male, and I wanted to get a female, I might repeat it to get a female. If I only had one puppy, I might repeat it to get a female. But if I had a male and a female, or 3, 4 puppies, that's never going to be repeated. You know, like I was saying this earlier too. A lot of how I approach this shit and do things is from, kind of stolen from Kev. Watching him, as I come up, watching him, how he does shit. Trying to keep shit exclusive, and I let my stuff go out a little more lately than I even wanted to. So that's why I closed my show down, just to kind of keep it a little bit of a lid on it. But no, I like to keep it exclusive, So even though the demand's high, I would still rather take the time, build my program, keep what I need to keep, do the breedings in the future that I need to do, and keep what I want off of that too. And then 2 generations, maybe I have a bunch of shit for people to buy. And it's even closer to where I want to be anyway. So they're going to be better off anyway buying that shit also, It's just a process, and people don't respect that process and don't do it the right way. You ever think about getting deep into it? Diving in head first and getting about 15 dogs?
Never.
Smart man.
Never.
Smart man.
Hey man, I'm just a bully lover. My dog 10, spoiled, at home, or on my daughter's bed, or built blankets for her. I'm like, God damn, she get more pampering than anything else, man. Yeah, there's no cages. None of that. So that's me, man. I'm not into the whole breed, trying to make money doing this. I love doing interviews. So that's a good, it's a great outlet for me. Especially, doing what I do for a living. So doing dogs is a great outlet for me. Yeah, I just don't want to get into that whole other side of that world, the breeder world. That's not my thing.
You think your perspective of dogs will change?
If I went that way?
Yeah. Because, right now you go see all kinds of different dogs, but then you're going to start looking at them.
For specific.
Yeah, you're from your specific standpoint.
Yeah, I think it'll be different for me. Right now, it's just, I'm like, I feel like a kid at a candy store or something.
Right.
Like I say, that's my whole purpose. I want to see as many dogs as, like you said, as many dogs as you can.
But it blows my fucking mind.
Now, don't get me
You
wrong. When I
want
start
to see
saying
all these dogs and have no interest in breeding.
now, that's funny you say that, because you start looking at the numbers though. But nah, that's not me though, because I got too much stuff.
No, but just to have that passion still to want to go out there and see all these dogs, but not with the intent to breed anything.
No.
Just because you love seeing those dogs.
Mm-hmm.
That fucking blows I can't wrap my brain around it, because like I want to see the dogs too, but with the intentions of finding the next shit that I'm going to make my shit better.
Right. Like, I want to see it because I'm going to take that motherfucker and add this to this.
Right.
I'm going to use him to do this shit.
See, that's what I was asking, if he's going to start looking at dogs in a different perspective. Because once you start breeding, you're going to look, all right, well, I can take that from this dog, this and that. I mean, you're just enjoying the overall dog and all the dogs that are out there, right?
Exactly. So for me,
That's fucking crazy. It's awesome, is what I'm saying. Like, that's...
I get asked that a lot though.
Not
you ain't
to
never
that.
thought about jumping in the breed and you'll have a nice market and this and that. No, I ain't, to be honest, nah. Like I said, just that part of it, the nice hobby, yes.
So you ain't never had a litter?
Bottle of breed?
I actually did. That's funny, but it was by accident. It was my At the time, it was because we was trying to sell our house at the time. We moved the dogs down to Georgia, and it was at my brother's house. Never thought my boy boss could do anything anyway. It just didn't seem like it. Well, at least to me. But he had them two staying together. She got on. It happened on her first heat. He went out there. They were stuck. He was like, "Thought you said he couldn't do anything." I said, "What the hell you doing? Got him in the same thing for anyway." So that's how it happened. That was the only letter, and after that, she was fixed.
How'd that go? Did you enjoy that? Did you enjoy having puppies and?
But see, I didn't have that experience. He did.
Oh.
I just flew down afterwards just to look at it.
You ever get tired of that shit, Kev? You ever get tired of having puppies in the box and smelling that shit, cleaning dog shit?
Man, cleaning dog shit from 6 in the morning to 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, the next morning, and then get up and do the same shit over. Yeah.
Did you ever think that you would be scooping shit by choice?
Yeah, I was a dog lover from day one, man. So,
I mean, I grew up with dogs too, but if my fucking guidance counselor in high school would have sat me down and said, "All right, then listen, you're probably going to be scooping dog shit 2-3 hours a day for the rest of your life," I would have been like, "Yeah, right, fuck that, there's no way." But now I voluntarily
my granddad
scoop shit all day.
Granddad raised beagles. My granddad had hound dogs, had beagles.
Right.
So he kept at least 4 to 5. Yeah, so I was already used to cleaning up kennels and shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we always had dogs too, and that was like one of the punishment chores was cleaning the dog area, scooping the shit. Now it's like a peaceful time. Go out and smoke something in the morning, spend time with my dogs, watch them run around, clean shit. I'm like happy to do it. I'm great. I mean, we're all a little bit fucked up. Let's just be honest. I mean, that's just me.
Yeah.
We're all a little bit off, for sure. But yeah, if somebody would have told me, you're gonna wake up every day and fucking the first thing you're gonna do is walk to the dog kennels and be elbow deep in shit, I'd have been like, "No, you're crazy. There's no way. There's no way."
What's the biggest show you've been part of? I bet you probably one of them overseas shows.
There was one Allentown show that was really big. That was close to 300 dogs. Perry. There's a couple times I've judged Perry where it was over 300 dogs. The UK show. One of the UK shows was like 280 dogs, but it was like the second show in the country, and it was fucking packed in there. Couple, nothing like major, like, I mean, as far as numbers wise goes, like nationals, like nothing like that yet. Not for a few more weeks,
How different is it, man, when you see like shows damn near every other week compared to then when there wasn't really that many shows, where it probably had more dogs in one spot.
Right. Man, I stopped going to all them little shows because what it is, when you have them every week, then you ain't got no dogs there. You know what I mean? It's limited dogs there, and then the quality is not there. So I hadn't gone to shows for a couple of years, and I up and went to one, I think out in Valpo, and I walked around there and I got depressed. I was there for about 45 minutes. And to get up out of there,
Was that in the barn?
Probably was a barn.
I know what show you're talking about. I was at that one. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Valpo,
I think I'm ready to turn this fucking microphone on. I don't know, man. It's surreal as fuck for me to be even, having some of these conversations that we're having, because some of these dogs that we're talking about are dogs that I had. Earlier we were talking about El Rey Boom Boom, King Boom, and we're talking about like we said, Strike and all these dogs and Monster G, and these are dogs that when I was just getting that spark for the American Bully, shit that I just had sitting on my computer screen for hours, pedigrees and pictures and just days spent wrapped up into staring at these dogs and learning about this shit. Just to be talking to you guys about it, you know, like you guys were right there when that shit was getting made and using that, like it's surreal as fuck for me. And just the fact that you know that's behind all of our shit. It's the base of everybody that's doing it and that's breeding that we're talking about. Like it's the base of all of our shit. Surreal for me, you know. Every time I come to Cali, though, every time I come out here, it's like, I don't know. This is the life, you know.
You had a good time so far?
How does it get better? This is my thing. This is the thing. Like how in my brain, this is legit. I'm not even joking around. How the fuck does it get better? Like, I work for myself.
These dogs took you around the world, man.
I travel. Mostly on other people's dimes, and when it is on my dime, I can afford to do shit like this and come out and like, and you know, I'm not bragging about it. Just like to me, you know, a lot of us come from nothing. Like, you know, a lot of us, the family history is laborers. You know what I'm saying? Working for somebody else, building somebody else's dream. So for me, it's a big deal to be able to do shit like this and be a part of shit like this and be able to afford to, all right, what are we doing? We're going to spend a week in Cali. We got, you know, we're going to do a bunch of filming, this and that. All right, it's done. Let's go. That to me, like that's, every time I come out here, I'm just like, how does it get better? And every time it gets better, like how does they don't understand? I'm blessed, man.
Yeah, we blessed. Yeah, everybody.
On that note, we're getting the fuck out of here. I love your fucking faces, people. We'll see you next week. Or sometime. Saturday, Wednesday, sometime.